Open your windows. Just 15 to 20 minutes a day, when the weather permits, can significantly improve indoor air quality. Of course, if there's a wildfire, pesticide spraying nearby, or heavy industrial pollution, it's better to keep windows closed. If your home has central air or heat, think of the HVAC system as the lungs of your home. It's important to keep it clean.
Welcome to The Functional Edge. I'm Dr. Julia Ward, and this is where science meets real-world strategies for living healthier, sharper, and stronger. From uncovering hidden environmental toxins to unlocking peak performance and mental clarity, we cover it all. Ready to take control of your health and thrive? Let's dive in.
Welcome to the final week of Detox Your Life. I hope these past few sessions have given you valuable insights and empowered you to make meaningful changes in your daily routines. Last week, we dove into household cleaners. How many of you ended up crouched under your kitchen sink reading labels? You're not alone. Today, we're shifting focus to the air we breathe, specifically the quality of the air inside our homes. We'll be talking all about indoor air quality. As I mentioned last week, there's overlap with household cleaners, but this session is focused solely on what we inhale. Because we're narrowing it in on one topic, today's session will be a little shorter. Why does this matter? Well, most of us spend around 90% of our time indoors. Only 7% is spent outside. A national survey even found that back in the 90s, Americans were indoors nearly 87% of the time. And I'd bet that number is even higher today. According to the EPA, indoor air can actually be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, and sometimes even 100 times worse. That's a big deal. We've already touched on how things like home fragrances, cleaning products, and house dust contribute to poor air quality. But the structure of your home plays a role too, from the building materials and flooring to paint and ventilation. And these are much harder to control. Interestingly, older homes, especially those built before the 1960s, were often draftier, which used to be seen as a downside for energy efficiency. But from an air quality perspective, it's actually beneficial because it allows for more fresh air circulation. After the oil crisis in the 70s, homes were built to be more energy efficient and airtight. But that also reduced how often indoor air gets replaced with fresh air. That drop in air exchange rates has had a real impact on the air we breathe at home. On top of less ventilation, modern building materials are filled with chemicals, things like VOCs and flame retardants in spray foam insulation, formaldehyde in flooring adhesives, phthalates in older vinyl, and in carpets. They don't just stay locked up, they slowly release into the air over time. In some cases, the buildup of these chemicals can lead to what's known as sick building syndrome, where people feel unwell in a specific building, but their symptoms improve once they leave. It can be triggered by things like mold, chemical off-gassing, or even allergens. While we can make a big difference with lifestyle changes, we can't control everything. Renters may not be able to change flooring or walls, and we certainly can't do much about our neighbors' air fresheners or cigarette smoke. But instead of stressing over what we can't change, let's focus on what we can. The easiest first step? Open your windows. Just 15 to 20 minutes a day, when the weather permits, can significantly improve indoor air quality. Of course, if there's a wildfire, pesticide spraying nearby, or heavy industrial pollution, it's better to keep windows closed. If your home has central air or heat, think of the HVAC system as the lungs of your home. It's important to keep it clean. Have your ducts professionally cleaned every few years, and be sure to replace air filters regularly. Look for filters with a MERV rating appropriate for your system. The higher the number, the smaller the particles it can capture, but don't exceed what your system can handle. Another simple step: eliminate artificial fragrances. These contribute to indoor air pollution, and removing them can actually save you money. Once you adjust, you won't miss them. Swapping out your cleaning products for safer alternatives is another easy win. And finally, using a good air purifier can make a huge difference. When shopping for a purifier, look for one with true HEPA filtration. These trap 99.97% of particles down to 0.3 microns. Be wary of labels that say HEPA type, which may not meet the same standard. HEPA filters handle particles, but if you want to remove chemical gases too, like VOCs, you'll need activated carbon. The more carbon in the unit, the better it can trap chemicals, and the longer it will last before needing to be replaced. Ideally, you'll want a purifier that combines both HEPA and a good amount of carbon, at least 10 pounds. Brands like Austin Air, IQ Air, and Air Pura are excellent, though they can be pricey. Air Doctor is a more affordable option that's great for particles but less effective on VOCs due to lower carbon content. If an air purifier isn't in your budget right now, a do-it-yourself filter made from a box fan and HVAC filters can still work well, especially during emergencies like wildfires. You can build a plastic version with one or more filters for better particle capture. As we wrap up, I want to revisit the big picture. Reducing toxic exposure isn't about being perfect. You won't be able to eliminate every harmful chemical, and that's okay. In week 1, we covered food, how pesticides and contaminants sneak into even fresh foods. You learned how to choose better produce, meats, and seafood, with organic being the priority whenever possible. In week 2, we explored kitchen tools and storage, how to limit plastics, and switch to safer materials like glass and stainless steel. You also learned about hidden toxins in packaging and how to care for the plastic items you do use. Week 3 focused on personal care. You learned that just because a product is on the shelf doesn't mean it's safe. You now know what ingredients to avoid and how to choose better sunscreens, nail polish, and hair products. Last week was all about household cleaners and laundry products and how they impact your air and dust. You learned what ingredients to watch for and which brands are safer. And today we tackled indoor air, how to improve it affordably and effectively, how to shop smart for air filters, and even how to make your own. I hope this course has helped you to take more control over your environment. Remember, perfection is not the goal, consistency is. Reducing your exposure over time based on what's realistic for your life is what really makes a difference. What we do every day matters more than the occasional slip. So be kind to yourself and just keep going, one small step at a time. I'm going to redo the very last slide on this recording, the last slide 25. Okay. I hope this course has helped you take more control over your environment. Remember, perfection isn't the goal, consistency is. Reducing your exposure over time based on what's realistic for your life is what really makes a difference. What we do every day matters more than the occasional slip. So be kind to yourself and just keep going, one small step at a time.
Thank you for joining me on The Functional Edge. I hope today's episode gave you fresh insights and practical tools to level up your life. If you found value in what you heard, don't forget to hit subscribe, share the podcast with someone who needs it, and leave a review. It's the best way to support our mission of bringing powerful health solutions to more people. For more resources, updates, and behind-the-scenes content, visit drjuliaward.com. Until next time, stay strong, stay healthy, and keep living on the functional edge.